In October last year, we went on a 6-day expedition into the Gordon Franklin Wild Rivers National Park, which is part of Tasmania's World Heritage Area. We went in search of a grave of the 19-year-old John Stannard, who was a Huon piner in the remote Jane River area back in the turn of the 20th century. In 1901, while working on the river, tragically he drowned. His comrades buried his body on the banks of the Jane River, an area far too remote to have his body carried out. The gravesite has now been lost for almost 100 years. Many have attempted to find it, but all have failed, including ourselves in October last year. After 6 days of searching, we literally left the area feeling crippled, blistered, and carrying a feeling of defeat. In April this year, we headed back in with new clues and information, back to the Jane River to have one last search. Although we had the new clues and information, miraculously somehow we were able to find the gravesite.
Oh, it all makes sense. Oh my god. It's gone. The headstone's gone, but the main piece is still there.
A needle in a haystack was an understatement. We both talk regularly about the feeling of that day, which was exactly 120 years and 1 day after his drowning.
Can you believe this?
And we cannot deny that there was some divine intervention that helped us find John's grave that day.
To pinpoint to here, and then even once we got here, then we found more clues.
Branching out, going across the Buttongrass Plains, direct line to the Erebus rivulet. This is like,
I'm just going to.
this is so, yeah.
This is crazy.
Rightio, we're just going to soak this up for a bit because we're just blown away, absolutely blown away. So what would take us back there? Well, for one, our mate Hugh Calvert suffered injuries on day one and wasn't able to be there the day that we found the grave. It would give Hugh an opportunity to see the grave for himself. 2, a photograph taken by that same Michael Sharland, who photographed the grave back in 1938. On that same expedition, Sharland photographed an old piner's hut, a 40-foot long cabin built from hardwood and King Billy pine shingles. As far as we know, nobody has seen the hut in over 100 years, about the same time as the disappearance of the grave. The thoughts of the hut still standing and us finding it, and maybe even taking a night's refuge in it with an open-lit fire, built curiosity. But once again, this would be a massive undertaking, and we set aside 7 days to make the return trip. See you, Subi. Catch you in about a week. It's all about to start all over again. We're back.
The boys are back.
Jane through. Smiling now, but give it a couple of days, these smiles will be a bit different, I think. Make some history, he says. She's all about to start again, isn't it?
First 3-man consecutive.
She's just beginning out. We're on the Frenchman's Cap track, so we'll be able to follow that, and then we'll be branching out across the Loddon Plains, beginning our adventure towards the Jane River. We're just talking about how much snow and that wind and there was coming over the highlands across Great Lake, and there's absolutely nothing right now where we are, which is pretty incredible. It's very, very still. Heading up. Beautiful walk. Very cloudy though. Might get some rain, boys. Go, go, Buffalo.
Well worn.
this would be the Loddon River. So not far from this river, and we are going to be branching off the main track. It'll be the same path we took on the first Jane River trip that we did, and yeah, it gets pretty gnarly from there on in. Some morale. I don't even have to buy them anymore because I just rely on you boys.
Yeah,
that first trip started it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Old Huey's had a bit of a blowout with his boots. He's had, how long have you had these?
Oh, I bought them when I was 17, so 20 years.
He's had these Scarpas, are they?
Absolutely brilliant.
Good
Italian-made boots.
He's been bragging about them all morning. Oh, I've had these boots for 20 years. And the good old soles have just started peeling off on him, so just grabbed some of me little rope out and we've tied the front of the nose on and hoping we can get through all right.
We'll get there.
He's going to keep going, so we're not letting him turn back this time.
Right, I'll stitch him together with twine.
Now left the Frenchman's track, and she's all bush bashing from here, so it'll be the last time we see the track in maybe 4 or 5 days. About to break out onto what they called the Sodden Loddon, button grass plains for a good probably 15 k's. Looking forward to the adventure of it. What story you got?
You're not going to want to put this in the video.
There you go, Rob.
Good, mate. Happy to be here.
I'm kind of happy just to smash through it. We're recognising the first challenger barra that we faced up around chest height.
I don't want to cry.
Still cutting our way across the Loddon Plains, probably about 2/3 of the way to where we want to be tonight. We've done pretty good time. Boys are feeling good.
To be honest, like at the moment, I wouldn't trade what you're doing for that good track.
No.
Like it?
No.
Yeah, it's...
No, that was just...
Anything better than tea tree is burnt out tea tree. Hazardous. Yeah. Bit of cinematography going on here.
Yeah, it's a shot.
A lot of preparation for just one take. Like the new Samoa, that thing. What do you reckon the chances are of finding this hut, Rob?
With my detective skills, 100%.
There's one. There's the other one. We're nearing the end of the plains now. Starting to get a view of where we've got to head tomorrow. Tomorrow morning we'll be going up, not this pyramid looking hill, but behind that is Staff Hill in the background, and it'll be about 5 kilometres over that hill down to the Jane River. Well, I think the feet say it all. Day one's done and dusted. Today wasn't too bad. It was probably, in all honesty, it was probably one of our easier days for our Jane River trips. Tomorrow's going to be monumental because tomorrow we're heading up over Staff Hill, and it's an area that we've never tackled before, so it's hard to know what we're really going to be in for. It's about 5 k's. We're hoping to go over Staff Hill, up over what's called Calder Pass, which we don't know exactly where that is. We just know the general area. Then we'll be able to cross over Staff Hill down into the Jane River area and start the hunt for the hut. All going well tomorrow. We should be there on the Jane River by tomorrow and things should be good, but we've all got this nervous feeling that it's going to be a lot harder than we think, so we'll see what happens tomorrow, I guess. Slept pretty good though. You were still snoring about 5 minutes ago. Yep. Leeches. Oh, ace. Everything's iced. That's why it was so cold. It's frost.
Bit frozen, is it?
Mine's all iced up. There's the boys. We got the tunes going for a bit of Staff Hill motivation. Alright. Primitive breakfast on the go. Alright, so we've had our brekkie, got about 5 to 6 kilometres up and over Staff Hill, and it's going to be pretty rough going, I think. Hopefully we can get over to the Jane and get there by tonight and set up camp. Once we're over at the Jane, then the following day, day 3, we should be able to start looking for the old Piners cabin. It's like we're about to go to war, boys.
Feels like it.
We know what we're in for, don't we?
It's going to be a big day.
It's going to be a big day.
It's going to be a really big day, but it's also going to be a very magic day once the hard part is over. It's going to be the views, it's going to be the different types of forests. They're the morale boosters, and that's what we need to get through the crap.
Going to be a good part of adventure for us, so we don't know what we're in for, but let the games begin, I say.
Yes. All right, next stop, Jane River.
Couple of minutes, we'll be there.
And I reckon this is a start, because everyone says at the top of Calder Pass you can see da-da-da. Normally a pass is like the low point between two hills, it's a peak.
But if we go straight over into 3 Amigo, whatever. Either way, I reckon up here further.
Are you glad we took this ridge, Huey?
Oh, not at all, I'm still right.
I don't know, I guess we'll find out.
Righto, so it's just gotten too steep where this ridge that we've chosen. You can see rock cliffs over on that other side. And this country's just crazy, but we haven't been able to keep going up there. There's just no way through it. It's getting really sludgy and mossy underfoot. And carrying these packs with the amount of water we got, just not happening. So we're going to divert back a bit and see if we can try another ridge. This is just straight down. Oh. Don't worry, boys, I'll go up ahead and see if we can find anything.
Well, look at these hardwoods up here.
This is a welcome sight. We'll be able to top up our water. We're getting a bit low.
I wanted a new adventure.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do this Staff Hill, and it's getting done today.
This is the ridge.
Oh no. This is the point of the hill, boys. I'm not even going to get a view up here. She's thick.
Can't remember last time when
We'll be all downhill, basically, and a few k's from the chain.
Yeah, we're pretty elevated here.
Some elevation here.
we're halfway.
Been putting in. The skittles are keeping up the morale. Our first little pandanny of the trip. The boys have found a little cave in the rocks over there.
Any markings?
Yeah. Right, we're right up on top here. We still need to be
Curse there is there. Between the two, we get around that steeper rock.
way over here.
back on, and we should.
It's looking a bit grim, but we might be able to come across through there.
Standing up on the side of you, looking down.
A lot of debate going on at the moment. No one knows where we are. Well, we know where we are, but we're not sure the best path right now.
It just seems wrong from what we've read and what we've looked at.
We'll just have a view.
So we've had to divert back about 150 metres back down this hill, and we're going to head further south from this point across what they call the Three Amigos. Is that what you guys named them?
We named it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. See how that goes. The size of this rock, just sitting up on top of the hill. That is a big straight king billy. We bumped into the horizontal. We've hit a good patch of horizontal and she's got a bit slower. Look at that, how do you get through that stuff? So good. We've been stuck in this for a couple of hours now. It's absolutely rubbish. On my hands and knees again. Didn't need your ball bag. Oh. Not on the ground that we've travelled. We're going to end up a little bit short, I reckon, on time, aren't we?
Yeah, it's feeling like it. Unless we get
unless
a
we
lucky
break
streak.
out into a nice streak, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make the journey.
Here's where Sharland might have taken his photograph. Look at that.
This is it.
It's a bit intimidating. We've got to get up over that. We're going up the side of Staff right now. All getting low on energy and water. This camera ain't showing much. It's not showing what we're seeing. This is just beautiful. It's amazing up here. Just dropping down into the Jane area, but getting very steep. Little rock just poking out there. Getting a bit hectic. It's slippery.
Go that way.
Yeah, go down under that rock there. Yep. Don't go down there. Massive landslide that's cleared a path for us. But if you fall down there, you'll get impaled, son.
Swallow me up.
Holy
Running low on water. Oh man, never been so happy to see water. Cut it a little bit finer than we probably should have, but alright, we're down level with the Jane River now, heading across towards the flats. We can hear it. How's she look, bro? Beautiful. What a mission today was. There she is, once again. After walking for a good 10 hours.
Oh, golly. Oh well, we're down there.
We did it.
This gives me flashbacks of looking for the grave.
Yeah.
Like when you're here, you just feel like you've got to look for
That's right.
spot.
The
Like
grave's old news now. We've got a
hut to
got a
find.
new discovery to find. Rightio, day 3 is upon us. We've got beautiful weather again today. The boys are all packed up. We're just about to set off away from the banks of the Jane here and head further downstream. We're going to be looking for the hut today, all going well. We've got a couple of k's to get to the area that we think the hut might be. But once we're down there, we'll spend some time scouting about and see what we can find down there. Hopefully we can find some remnants of what might be left. We're all in good spirits. We rested up pretty well after what was a massive day yesterday. I would say yesterday's mission was probably one of the hardest out of about 15 or so days of Jane River trips, and we've done some big ones, as you guys know. Alright, this is a big hill that we've got to go up. It was a hill that Sharland described that he went about 400 or so metres up and then dropped back down to river level, but he was coming from the other direction. We are heading down towards the hut once we get over this hill. Still going up. There's Amigo 1. There's Amigo 2.
There's only 30 or 40 metres more elevation.
Yeah, I think we're getting towards the top. One big chunky monkey. Steep going. She's a nice strand of horizontal. Taking turns on the barrow again, mixed up with banksia and tea tree and other rubbish. That'll do.
What a sight to saw, deep and lines and eyes and backs and everything. Quite deep up this top end, eh?
Hurry up, I'm running out of SD card.
Hard on the ball bag.
Oh, come on. We all know there's nothing much there. Little log shimmy in. We're going swimming.
There!
That'll wake you up.
Wait.
Spicy, fellas. You doing it with your thermal on?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a wash. Oh yeah, wow.
I'm alive!
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah!
Sweat out.
Oh, it's all scummy.
Oh, come on. Full of it.
Not firm and banked in it.
You got in first. Alright, so we've had our lunch. We're geared up. We're just going to day pack it now in search of the hut. We are in the zone of where we believe the hut should be. This is a possibility of where Sharland would have crossed over a log. We're going to be looking for a large log crossing the river. Yeah, that's where he crossed over, and then he crossed over button grass plains and went up the hill that we've just come down. So we have a few clues. Hopefully these clues will lead us to something good. But we're going to go now and start the search and see if we can find this hut. Starting to see a few of the workings of the old boys. They've cut down these Huons. Big Huon hanging over the river. But we wanted to go the furthest end here where this gorge starts. And we're going to make our way back along and through all of this section of river. And we might have to even, we don't know exactly how close it was, so we might have to even break out into some of the button grass plain edges and things like that. We're all just branching out a bit. Very pretty.
Too much isn't.
Let's add traffic a bit. It's flat up here and elevated to keep the hut away from the water. There's it, because there's button grass out here too. Yeah. Look at that. There's the backdrop. Left. Looks good. This location kind of fits the description. We're just searching around in case there might be some rubble somewhere, or logs, or just anything left behind. Who knows, this place could have had a fire through it. It's been nearly 100 years since the hut was last seen, last photographed at least. Very hard for you guys to see this, but I'm just taking a look at the photograph. We're kind of using these gums in the background to hopefully be a bit of a clue. Okay, so which way are you heading up? Are you heading upstream or downstream? Righto.
We are about 25 metres in from the river.
Yeah, I reckon follow the edge of those button grass plains. You'll be on it. Find some eucalyptus. We're feeling close. See this? See how your eucalyptus stands like in the photograph?
Yep.
And then near the river you've just got the myrtles, everything protruding up. Yeah. Huey's yelling and screaming. It's a good spot to look. We can feel it. We've got a feeling we're up on a little hill here. We're hoping on the other side she might be sitting somewhere over here. There's like 4 or 5 stumps here that have been cut. But they're not Huons. Maybe they were clearing the area to the river.
You got to remember they probably built it out of gum poles.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that too. We're getting close. You can feel it, eh?
Yeah.
Did he see you?
Old Huey's had an encounter with a snake sitting up in the tree. Snaky-fied, they called it. Tiger. There's a square cut hole in the ground. Huey's found.
Man-made, is it?
Huey's found some history. He's found a pot or something, he says.
What do you got, honey?
Oh yeah, I've got a pot.
Oh, nice.
Nice score. And there's a bottle there behind it.
Yes, boys, we're on it.
We know when we find bottles, things show up.
Get the hut! Get the hut!
He's a man on a mission. Somewhere here. We're going to find it. Yep, there's a pot upside down. It's going to be in the opening up here somewhere.
Oh,
it's a race to get it, boys.
Gold mine!
Shovel!
Oh, blocks and tackles!
Pitchfork!
Boys!
Yeah! This is something.
This was a hut site then, eh?
Wow. Shovels.
It's
fucking... They're pulleys from...
yeah, it's pulleys.
Yeah, block and tackle.
Look, we've got a sluice fork there and a shovel.
Where's the wheel? That's there. That there is the campfire pot.
That's the topic.
That's what they make the damper in.
That's a camp. And there's your camp oven. Look, here's the handle. Boys!
Yeah.
Holy crap, we've done it again!
Look here, you can use that. There's the handle. That's a camp oven.
Hey, 1 second ago you said leave them as they're late.
Shut up, leave me alone, I'm excited.
Jeez, we're all a bit excited now, aren't we?
This is it. We haven't found
Well
it
done,
yet.
Huey. Huey got something. What do we got here? More junk.
It's files.
Yep, it's a file. What do you got? I don't know, I was trying to work that out. They're like little solenoid looking, detonator looking things. Yeah. Weird. Who knows what these are? Leave a comment below. Levi doesn't. Hey boys, there's myrtles here too.
What do you reckon? Look at there's heaps of it.
There's heaps of them. What would they be?
I've got
Drop
no
a
idea.
comment below, folks. We don't know what they are. A lot of glass to go in your knee too, so be careful.
There was a little glass jar just here. That one. I already picked it up.
Look
There's
at that.
one.
Yeah, it was some
Bigger.
sort of salve or something.
More bottles.
We're going to leave them in.
Yeah.
So
Leave everything here.
this bottle
I mean, I've
is
seen
the
some
property
bottle
of
Yeah.
But we're dating
H.
stuff.
Jones and
Hang on, what we got here? Marmite Company.
Marmite?
Marmite.
Marmite.
Marmite. It says it on the bottom.
No way.
Oh, what's that? That looks like...
here's an old file.
That's insane. That Huey gave.
Bovril. 2 ounces of Bovril. Where's this boot everybody's talking about? Whew. Certainly much better than the boot I thought I had.
I'll try.
Hey, look.
She's a solid old boot too, not a
Levi.
big foot. Yo,
Look at this.
another one.
Oh,
Oh wow. In that moment there was a lot of excitement, but at the same time there was a level of disappointment starting to set in. After scouting the area for the rest of the afternoon, it became very clear that the old hut had been burnt to the ground. There was too much solid evidence to believe otherwise. As the old piner Reg Morrison had described, there was a large log crossing.
That's the perfect log here, fellas. I reckon that's the one Reggie Morrison was talking about.
It's a good log, and I guess if it was in flood they could have pushed their other timber over straight over the top. The hill that we'd come over. Still going up. A flattened slipway leading up to the hut site where they'd pulled the punt.
Yeah, it looks like a driveway, doesn't it?
Does. The surrounding eucalyptus trees. It has got the gums behind. And the ones that have been cut down to build the cabin. There's like 4 or 5 stumps here that have been cut, but they're not Huons.
You got to remember they probably built it out of gum poles.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that too. At the hut site itself, we noticed the heaped up ground where the old chimney once stood. That's where they've got the oven, the camp oven. And literally hundreds of charcoal covered relics lying deep in the soil of roughly a 40-foot flat section of ground. That's a really flat spot right there, look. Our thoughts of spending the night in that old piner's cabin quickly vanished. And it was now time to head back to our own camp and set up for the night. We've definitely, we're quite conclusive, boys.
I think we're pretty happy with that. Well done, fellas. It was a massive 3
effort,
days to
boys.
do this, and was it worth it? Probably not, but
well,
I
hang on.
loved
Let me just jump in the bunk. It should be about here somewhere.
it. Yeah.
Turns out a hut site's much easier to find than a grave site. Righto, so it's almost 5 o'clock and we're thinking what we're going to do is just walk for maybe another hour or so, set up camp. And tomorrow we're wanting to take old Huey down to show him the grave site, so we'll push it another couple of k's out in the morning and yeah, show him the site, and then we'll start making our way home. So beautiful spot here on the mossy banks of the Jane. Magic hour too. Sun's beaming through. Boys have got their tents up. It's my little pad for the night. If you're still here watching, make sure you don't leave now. This story takes an unusual twist. Righto, we're on day 4 and we're starting out for the morning. We're going to take Hugh down to Stannard's grave. Finally get his good look at the old guy. Got a massive log jam here. And a lot of it in there is Huon. There's a mix of eucalyptus, but this is the trouble that the later piners had. The Abels trying to get these logs out. They needed massive floods to send all the logs downstream, right down to the Gordon at Strawn. So hundreds of k's of river these logs had to travel, but these ones got jammed up good and proper. A bit of behind the scenes with Rob Parsons.
The effort we go to get the shot.
Getting a bit of a wire shot here. You will probably see that in his film. A link in the description below.
Thanks for sending them over to my channel.
Levi's feeling good today.
He's having one of those rare moments where he's real kind.
travelling light. Dropped our packs on our exit point for this trip, so we don't need to really bring them down this way. About 1.5 km off the grave. How old do you reckon this old beast is? Got to be a couple of thousand?
Gotta be 3,000 years old.
This is all starting to look really familiar. Over there somewhere is that cut-out log.
Oh my god, boys.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
What a fucking job. The first time I come here it was gone, but some bugger must have replaced it. Oh,
wow.
crap.
Let's not stand on him.
That's insane. Smell it, it's Huon.
Yeah, smells good, huh?
Nice.
What do you think of the gravesite, Huey? It's pretty sick, huh?
I'm probably going to need a moment, I reckon.
Alright guys, for those of you
Fine,
at home,
right.
the people who replaced this was Ron Morrison. He's the nephew of Reg Morrison, who worked down here in the Jane in 1938. He came down here with his son Deke and nephew Sam, and they brought this in. I did the carving and handed it back to him, and he's done the rest of it, all the installation. And Stenar's looking better than ever.
That'd be as good as the original, I would say.
I reckon
That is so
better.
good. It looks
That is-
just like it.
It's just absolutely
Just not
perfect.
aged.
It'll look alright in 100 years or so.
My word.
A couple of winters it'll patina nicely.
Done a
What a
great job.
legend.
Thank you, Ronnie boy.
Yeah.
Too
Hats
good.
off to
Too-
Ron.
Mammoth
Definitely didn't follow the same path as us.
Thanks, mate.
It's here and
Done a great job.
it's going to be here forever.
He's back.
Glad you got to see it, Hugh.
Thanks for taking me. Thanks for bringing me.
Run, boys. We're back.
Nice. And here we are.
3 amigos.
Yeah.
Awesome workmanship. Backbone built the same way as the old one and very solid, even dowed in and everything. See the dowels just here, here, through the back.
Yeah, Deke's my son.
Nice work, boys. Water stopped until we get back to the Erebus on our way home. Oh, back on the plains, here we go. One last bash through the bush until we drop onto the Erebus. Erebus, named after Sir John Franklin's ship, which he sank in the Northern Passage many years ago. Morning. You can hear the rain out there. Not a lot of movement from the other boys. Everyone's pretty still at the moment. We're just waiting for this rain to clear a bit maybe before we move. Our last 17 or so k's back to the main road and we're out of here.
So, you know, you've sent it through the scrub.
Mine have got holes. I must have done most of the work.
Yours was second hand, mate.
Another beautiful last day of walking out. We seem to always get the rain on this track.
I wonder if society will take us back.
We'll get to the...
Nah, go back, wrong way.
So once again, just like the exit on our first Jane River trip, the rain set in hard. So once again, the forecast has been upgraded up to 30 to 45 mils today, so we may have troubles with that surprise river again. Starting to snow a little bit. Better get moving. And not only that, it turned to snow. We were freezing and we had limited time before we knew that the surprise river would be in flood again. With the river in flood, it meant we'd have to spend another cold night camped up and exit via the Frenchman's Cap track the next day. What happened? We got stuck again, didn't we? Couldn't have it. Forecast was 20 to 30 mils, but when we got here, same problem. River in flood, so we're going to camp the night. We got here a bit earlier today, so we're not in as much of a panic and a rush to set up. It's our last day. Yeah! We're done. Our high fives before the battery goes.
Good job, boys.
What have we done?
Too much.
Too much, let's face it.
Go left, find a camp, we're done.
Hey you, stop snapping. It's exciting, we're here.
Why is it whenever Hugh comes we have to shimmy over everything?
Bloody twigs. Can't he pick a big log?
Yeah, I'm used to crossing like the big old Huons that are better than some of our bridges.
Nah, it's all good. Soap's for wussy mongers.
Well, I'm gonna wash.
I was actually thinking you look quite buffed with that bit extra flab you got on.
Good on you. Look at this. Talk about pressure.
Go on, mate.
Put your cameras away, you pair of bards.
Hurry up and hop in.
I wanna get...
Woo! Woo-hoo! Damn, that guy's hung. Where's Hugh? Where are you? What are you doing? You coming? Oh, what a day.
That's how I start all my sign off.
Well, let me see. What other words have I got in my vocabulary? We've done 12 Jane River days. No, start that again. We've done today in my from my perspective. Today was monumental. I've lost it. I've lost my traction. Start again. Today was massive. I'm trying. I know you guys are listening. It makes it harder. It doesn't come naturally if you're listening. I'm not thinking enough. I'm worried about what you're thinking of me. I'm just waiting for little giggles in the background. Yeah, I'm just going to say, righto, so we've just had our lunch and we've topped up our water. It's the last time we're going to be on Thurkles. What'd you say?
Nothing, mate.
What'd you say?
Maybe you can top up your bag before you do that.
Oh, just shut up. I was going alright then.
Then you could do it.
Sorry.
Every time.
Oh, shut you down. I'll put a friendship's wearing thin, look out.
Friendships formed and wars are
We're in bondage.